Welcome to the podcast, The Unknown Unknowns. I'm your host, Nara the Creator. Today we're going to be talking about the untold story of Bhangar Fort and the dark truth of it. Imagine a fort perched on a hilltop overlooking a lush green valley. The sun is setting and the sky is ablaze with color. The fort is surrounded by a moat, and the walls are thick and imposing. This is Bhangar Fort, a historical fort located in the Indian state of Rajasthan. Rajasthan tourism is known for its deserts, royalty, and forts. But while you go gaga over the sublime beauty and grandeur of its forts and palaces that still stand charming, there is one place that can completely change it all. Forget Jaipur, Udaipur, Jodhpur, or Pushkar. We dare you to visit Bhangar Fort, which is the most insanely haunted places in India. Bhangar Fort is located in Alwar district of the Royal State of India. Situated at the borders of the famous Sariska Tiger Reserve in the area, surely the name of Bhangar Fort is not for those with faint hearts. Listed as one of the most haunted places in India and the world, it can give you goosebumps just by its mere tale. Forget a glimpse. The Bhangar Fort's history dates back to centuries, being built in the 17th century in Rajasthan. Still a popular travel destination, it is wonderful. And there are truly fascinating best places to visit in Rajasthan you cannot afford to miss. Here are the blood-curdling Bhangar story and scary facts about the Bhangar Fort that will definitely give you sleepless nights. History of Bhangar Fort. Popularly known for being the most haunted place in India, Bhangar was in fact a flourishing town of ancient times. Built for his son, Man Singh I, in the 17th century by Madho Singh, one of the 9 Ratnas of Emperor Akbar's court, Bhangar Fort was once a thing of beauty and power. It is believed that over 10,000 people used to reside in Bhangar before it was allegedly deserted overnight. Spooky. Standing in ruins, this 400-years-old grand edifice and the spread town around it owe their present state to the pitiful Bhangar story that sealed its ill fate. Eerie Bhangar Fort story, the enduring void. Here's another Bhangar story that about a different and a more frightening tale behind the doom of Bhangar. As per the folklore, there was a princess of Bhangar named Ratnavati who was allegedly an extremely beautiful woman. Hypnotized by her exquisite beauty, a necromancer in the region fell in love with her. In order to get her, he put a spell of black magic on the oil that the princess was supposed to use for massage. But before his dirty ploy could work, Princess Ratnavati got a whiff of his trickery and threw off the magic-laden oil onto a huge boulder in the vicinity. This was when the doomsday clock of Bhangar Fort and the whole town was set in a countdown. The black magic worked its way and caused the boulder to crush the tantric to his death. However, before breathing his last, he cursed the entire town of Bhangar, struck down by grief and despondency, to slowly succumb to its utter desolation just like him. Proving his dreading last words right, the next year itself, the ruler of Bhangar suffered a calamitous defeat at the hands of an enemy. His entire army was annihilated, and all of the inhabitants of Bhangar were brutally massacred. While the fate of the princess is still a mystery, it is said that she was condemned to roam in the precincts of Bhangar, stuck in a limbo. It is said all of the people of Bhangar can still be heard in Bhangar Fort at night, doomed to linger in this realm, never to leave the cold environs the place, hopeless and restless. There are warning signs all around Bhangar Fort. Now there may not be haunted written in neon on the information boards at the site, but surely the constant urging by ASI, Archaeological Survey of India, to leave the premises before sunset clearly indicates something. The boards clearly say it again and again that it is prohibited to stay within the environs of Bhangar before sunrise and after sunset. There have been quite many incidents of getting lost and even deaths in the area, hence the precaution. This Bhangar Fort story gave me a chill run down my spine. What about you? Entry in Bhangar Fort is banned for foreigners. Strange as it is, Bhangar Ka Qila could be the only tourist place in India where the entry of foreign tourists is not freely permissible. They need to obtain a special permit to gain entry into the premises and Bhangar Fort. It is not only the Bhangar Fort story, but also the fact that among the tourists getting lost in the region, there's a large number of foreigners which angered the government officials owing to their disregard for rules and caused them to take the strict step. The houses in Bhangar are roofless. The mysteries of Bhangar don't seem to ever cease. Once you visit this eerie place in Rajasthan, you will get to know what we mean. Every house located in the entire area is roofless. Yes, no house whatsoever has a complete roof on its head. It is prevalent that the sage who cursed the town to its ultimate devastation is responsible for it. As per the locals, it is impossible to construct a roof on these houses, since as soon as one is built, it collapses, which has killed many people in the past. This is yet another nerve-wracking fact about the Bhangar fort's history. Numerous temples are concentrated in the small area. What may lend you a sigh of relief is the fact that Bhangar fort area has about half a dozen temples built in it, which give the region a slight break from the all-pervasive spooky aura. These small and ancient temples are dedicated to different Hindu deities, including Lord Hanuman, Keshav Rai, Lord Gopinath, Mangla Devi, etc. The temples that dissipate a spiritual air about them and the legendary curse of the region have attracted innumerable sages and priests to Bhangar with the hope to relieve the region of its jinx, but of course to no avail. That's all for this episode of The Unknown Unknowns. Thanks for listening. In this episode, we explored the untold story of Bhangar Fort. We learned about the history of the fort, the story of the Rani of Bhangar, and the significance of the fort today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. And if you have any suggestions for future episodes, please let us know. You can find us on all major podcast platforms. Just search for The Unknown Unknowns. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time.